10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition, liftoff.
Ground operators proceed to section 575. Flight report to procedure 3970 post-launch flight operations.
Vehicles pitching downrange.
Stage 1 propulsion is nominal.
As you just saw, Falcon 9 has successfully cleared the pad and is now on its ascent with the TESS spacecraft in its fairing. Now coming up in about 15 minutes, you're going to hear the call out that Falcon 9 will have hit max Q. That stands for maximum aerodynamic pressure. That is the point at which the rocket is seeing its highest stresses on its ascent.
Vehicle has passed maximum aerodynamic pressure.
You can tell by the cheers and what you heard on that call out, we have gotten through max Q. Coming up next, you're going to hear the call for MVAC
Engine chill has begun.
And that was it. That is where we chill in that Merlin vacuum engine down to operating temperature. Now coming up here shortly, you're going to hear 3 big events happening in rapid succession. The first is MECO, that stands for main engine cutoff. That is where all 9 of the first stage engines are going to shut down. That's in preparation for the next step, which is stage sep, or stage separation. That is where stage 1 will separate from stage 2. Stage 1 will make its way back down to the drone ship. Stage 2 will continue on with TESS to its orbit. And then you're going to hear second engine start. That is the ignition of the second stage engine. Let's check it out here.
MECO.
Stage separation confirmed.
Stage 1 is under the tip. MVAC ignition.
All right, and as you just saw, we had a successful stage separation and a successful ignition of that second stage engine. Now the fairing should be deploying at any moment. There we go. And you can see that tiny but strong TESS spacecraft inside of that. We're on top of stage 2. Now stage 1 is making its way back down to Earth. What we're going to see coming up pretty shortly is a boost back burn. Grid fins have deployed.
Both stages following nominal trajectories.
Acquisition of signal, Bermuda.
Right now, stage 2 is going to continue to burn until T plus 8 minutes and 20 seconds, while stage 1 makes its way back down to Earth. Now, there are 2 more burns coming up for stage 1. The next one's going to be the entry burn. That's where we're going to reignite 3 of the stage 1 engines. And that burn is intended to slow down stage 1's descent as it makes its way through that thick upper atmosphere. We'll be seeing that at 6 minutes and 29 seconds or so in about 2 minutes. hearing that stage 2's burn is still performing nominally. Okay, stage 2 is going to continue to burn for about another 3 minutes and 1 minute until we see that re-entry burn. Now, after that re-entry burn, stage 1 is going to continue on making its way down to the drone ship, and coming up thereafter will be the landing burn. That'll be the third of the 3 burns, and at that point we're going to reignite that center engine, E9, and that'll bring us down to 0 velocity, hopefully standing up tall on the drone ship. Continuing to hear that impact D is looking good. Turbopump performance is good. Everything is performing nominally on stage 2, which is great news.
Stage 2 continues to follow a nominal.
As
Stage
you
1
can
entry
see,
burn is
that
started.
burn has begun, that entry burn. This burn is going to go for about another 10 seconds or so before it shuts down. And the entry burn is complete.
Stage 1 entry burn shut down.
Okay, as stage 2 continues to burn, we are getting TESS into a nice circular orbit where TESS will then, well, stage 2 with TESS on top will coast for about 35 minutes.
Stage 1 is transonic.
As you heard, stage 1 is transonic. We're about 10 seconds away from that landing burn. Note that the drone ship is situated approximately 300 kilometers off the coast of Florida, and as you can see, that landing burn has started. Let's see if we can catch it. Has successfully landed on A Course I Still Love You. This marks the 24th successful landing of a Falcon 9 first stage. And meanwhile, we've reached SECO, which is second engine cutoff. Stage 2 has shut down its first burn.